Hi, and welcome back. Before we get started with the video you're here to see, we're running a contest. So in the description of this video will be a link to the contest video. All you have to do is click that link, go to that video, comment on that contest video, subscribe to my channel, do a thumbs up, and you're entered. And then once I hit 500 subscribers, I'll be giving away a $100 Visa e-gift card. So get on over there and enter the contest. Thanks. Here comes the video you're here to see. Hey, and welcome back. So today we have an accessory for the 2022 Can-Am Ryker. We're going to be installing the aluminum handguards as well as the Handguard Deflectors. It's obviously, as you can see, two separate purchases, and these need to be assembled before they're installed. They need to be assembled to each other because you could install just these on their own and not have the other deflectors, and then you'd have to uninstall these in order to put those on. So what we're going to do is we're going to assemble these together, then we're going to go out and install them on the bike. So hang on, I'm going to get the parts out of the box and we'll be ready to go. Okay, so we've got the parts. We're going to start on the left side. So the way that you do this is you want to test fit all your parts because they're mirror images of each other and they don't fit on either side. So the first thing you're going to do is you take this aluminum part, which is the separate part, and this is what the rest is all what came with the wind deflector. So this one here has these little cutouts which are going to match into these holes. So you line this up first. Okay, once you get that lined up, you're going to take the wind deflector, but behind the right, this is going to go in here. But behind the right side, you have to have two washers. So the way that I'm going to do this is I'm going to attempt to put the screw through the deflector and put the washers on the screw. Then try and see if I can get it to feed in properly to where the hole is without losing the washers. And it looks like I got it. Okay. And then you tighten this one up. Well, if you don't drop them. These are very short Allen keys and they're not easy to work with. But we will get it. As long as I got everything sandwiched in here, eventually I'm going to get this started. And once it's started, it's going to just screw right in. But the problem is getting it started. Not easy. So we're going to keep trying until we get it. Well, now I might have just moved. Hopefully I did not move the washers. I think I did. Let's take it off and check it. Because the washers definitely... Okay. Now, the next thing, you get the one of these that fits. You push it in the side here. Okay? Once it's in, it will line up with this screw hole here. And then you don't need a washer, but then it's a different screw. It's a self-tapping screw. And that screw goes in here. And this screw will tap directly into that part. Okay? And just line it up. There we go. Okay, I just tighten this in. Okay, so these screws are actually Torx. So that was why I was having a whole lot of trouble with it. So we're going to tighten this back up now. It's much, much easier to work with. The only problem is this is kind of longish to get in here, but we're going to try and make it work. There we go. So this one, you need a screwdriver that's going to fit, but it works. want to make sure there's no rattling going on. That's the washers you can hear in this side, but apparently that's just the way they're going to be, I guess. Unless maybe it needs to be a little tighter. I don't want to crack it, it's just plastic. We're going to leave it like that. Then you take the actual deflector. I'm not going to peel the plastic off because I don't want to damage it. And it screws right down here. Right down here. With two more of the regular, and it clips on the end very in a certain way for the screws to line up, and you put two more of these screws in, and now that we have the proper driver, they're going to go right in. And these screws all already, it seems, have Loctite on them, so you don't need to add any Loctite. They all have, it looks like, some Loctite right on them. There's no washers needed at this end. This just goes on. I don't want to over tighten because you don't want to crack. It's just plastic. We put the other one in. Okay. Get this one in. Okay, again, we don't want to over tighten it, but this one's not all the way in at all. I can see it's not. Nope, that's still, it's floppy. So you can see it wants to be a little tighter. So we're going to tighten it a little more. Till it's solid, because you don't want it floppy. Little floppy. Not thrilled with the way they tighten. There we go, tight. And there you go, you have it. One deflector is assembled. I'm going to do the right side one the exact same way. Don't need to video it, it's the same process. And then we'll move on to installing them on the bike. Okay, so now we're going to install these. So we're going to start on the left side. First thing you have to do is loosen this and pull out the mirror. While we're at it, we have hand grip covers we're going to install at the same time while we're taking the mirrors off. So let's do this. So we're going to pull out this screw. It's a very long screw. We're going to just do one side at a time. Very, very long screw. Whoops. And this is Torx. So you pull it out. It's a T30, it looks like. Let's see. T30, yeah. Torx 30. So you got to get this screw all the way out. It's very, very long. Very long. And then this pulls out. Okay, well, maybe it doesn't pull. It's supposed to, according to the instructions, this is supposed to pull out. Oh, it's very tight. Wow. Okay, there we go. So this just pulls out. You see how it expands, and the nut is in here, and that's how it goes in, is into this nut in here. Okay, so now we're gonna first thing we do is put the foam hand pads on. So the way that they recommend it, this is what they look like. It's just a pad for this. They recommend you put hand sanitizer in here. So we're going to try it and see how well this works. Okay, first of all, this is not ready to go. Let's see. So here we go. I'm going to put some of this in here, squirt it in, be generous about it. And then we're going to try and get it over. Let me close this so it doesn't go shooting all over the place. Let's see if I can get this over. Now I'm assuming the reason they recommend hand sanitizer is because it's alcohol based. Oh man, it's getting all over the place. What a mess. Not that this is what it is. Alright, so there we go. I don't even know that I needed the hand sanitizer, but I might try without next time, or do it a different way. Okay, so that's done. Next, holy crow, what a mess that made. Alright, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to put this goes on. Now normally you, let me see where this hole is. Oh, it's there, I see it. Okay, so this is going to go here because it only is going to go one way. So let me see, hang on a second. Let me wipe this off. So we're going to put it, normally in the instructions for these, it tells you just pull this out. But in this case, since it's off, I'm not going to put it back until I've got it in. Now there's a little hole on the inside. Let me see if you see this little point here. There's a hole here that this lines up so you know you got it right and it can't move. So they recommend you put it on downwards and then turn it up into the hole. But I don't know. I think I'm more comfortable doing it this way. So I'm going to put this like this. Let me get the screws. I'm going to use this one. And we're going to get it in. Get it started. Get them all four started. We're not going to over tighten anything. Just to get them all going. All right. Put the other side on. It goes like this. When you put these on, one side of this bracket has a tab on it. The tabs go to the inside. So if it was the outside one, you know, the end one, the tabs go towards the inside grip, and on the other one, the tabs go always towards the grip. So we're going to get the couple of screws here, put them in, tighten them up, or at least start them. These two I'm going to make a little tighter because it's in the hole and I don't want it to fall out of the hole. And we'll see if it's snug, and then once it is, we'll tighten everything up and we'll put the mirror back, and that'll be one side done. Let's see. So this side I want to snug up, make sure it's lined up. Let's see. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. Perfect. We are in. Okay, put this on, tighten. Doesn't have to be over tight. There was already Loctite on these. We didn't need to add any. Tighten this up, okay. Now we're going to try and get this back in. Okay, so you know what's weird? I think this nut is not thrilled how this works. This nut. Oops. What I think they did this. I'm not sure I love the way they had you do this. I think they recommended that I just pull this screw all the way out, but what I believe is better is I should have just loosened because what it does, it pulls the nut further back, and that's what tightens this mechanism up. But the problem is that now, unless you have it, unless you have the nut towards the end, you're not going to get this back in. So let's see if I can get it sort of started where it's just going to pull the nut in more rather than, let's see. The problem what I don't like is it threads through the grip, so you can't just push it in and get it to where it needs to be. It's kind of because if I put this in, I'm afraid I'm going to lose the nut inside the handle, which I don't want. But we're gonna see if hopefully this reaches, because if it doesn't, it's gonna be a problem. I don't know how we're gonna do this. Pardon the noise, we got trucks around here. So all right, I'm gonna try and well, the problem is if I push this nut in anymore right here, I don't think I can slide this in the grip anymore, which was why it was so tight. I think the install instructions should have been a little clearer with this. We're going to get better on the other side. We'll see. So here we go. So now I got it threading into the nut. Okay, so it's in the nut, which is what we needed. So now let's fit this in. There we go. And then if we tighten this, it's going to pull that nut and spread those like fingers to the point where they'll lock it in. So we're going to just tighten it until it stops turning. I mean, it's just dragging that nut in the plastic, so you don't want to go too insane, in my opinion. You want to just get it tight but not ridiculous. I mean, this thing's not moving. Go a little tight. I mean, that's the thing, you don't know how tight to really go with this. All right, I mean, that seems tight enough to me. All right, we're going to switch the camera around and go to the other side. Okay, we're on the other side. We're going to loosen this. You know what I should have did? Let's see. Wow, it doesn't turn anymore. So that's telling me that the other one probably can go tighter until it's just not turnable. What I don't love is it's not really pulling the nut back with it. I don't know how this is supposed to work, but I think the way I did it is really the only way. Because the nut is not moving with the screw. It's kind of not really doing what we want it to do. And the instructions do say take the screw completely out, so we'll do what it says. Nope, it's gonna have to come out. This is gonna be, it's not a good method because the way the end of this shouldn't be threaded. I think that's our problem. Because the end of this is threaded, the nut isn't, I don't think is moving properly with it, but I don't know, we'll see. Let's just pull this out the way they recommend. It just makes it more difficult. Okay. Wow. Man, oh man, this is really long screws. It's the worst part of this job is getting these out. It's not hard, it's just annoying because they're a mile long and it's just frustrating. Okay, so now let's see if we can get this out, because I know, see, that's the problem, is before it's very much a pain. Wow. Sorry about that, but we got it. Let me see, am I still in the camera? Or did I just hit the phone? No, I bumped it. There we go. Okay. Wow, and the nut, as you can see, is all the way pushed back. It even got the plastic. So I'm gonna fix this while we're at it, because this is, I don't like, let me see. What I did, I went in from the other side so I could catch the nut with the screw and then pull it out like that. Then you can put it in on the end so that you can get this back in, thread the screw back in from this way, and that way, once you catch this screw, you're ready to slip it back in later. So let me try. Oh, I just lost the tip. The tip is gone. I need you to look for it. Tip. Oh, here it is. All right. So what we want, see, that's what I don't like, is that the edge of this is threaded. You can't just push this in, which I think is what prevents it from it drags this. It doesn't, when you unthread, if this wasn't threaded, you'd be able to hold the screw in, and when you loosen it, instead of the screw coming out, the nut would just move back, which is what you want. But because the end of this is threaded, it doesn't allow that to happen. So, I mean, it's not impossible to do, it's just frustrating. Oops. But I can see the threads coming through now. And once they catch up and reach that nut where they'll fit, we're going to stop and then put the rest of this stuff together, because that way we'll get it going. So we're just threading this on just till it catches that nut, which it almost has. Let's see. There we go. So now it has caught the nut. Okay, so we're going to leave it like that. So now we're going to go get the other piece, and we're going to put it all together. The foam thing first. This is garbage. All right. Let me see. But I think, I don't know that I'm going to need hand sanitizer here. I think I can just get it on. Save the mess. Let's see. Once you get it over the end knob, I think it's just going to go right on. It seems like it wants to. Maybe we do want that. This end knob is what's the problem. All right, let's put a little of the hand sanitizer in here. Let's see if it works. Rub it around. The problem is this knob. You know that. Oh, we'll see. That makes, you don't need a lot, I don't think, because I don't even know that you needed any. But no, and then it slides right on. And this will evaporate because hand sanitizer is alcohol based, so it'll go away fairly quickly. Let's just get this out of here. Okay, let's wipe this down. All right, just so it's not underneath the deflector we're about to put on. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to put the deflector on. We're going to line it up. Again, there's a little pin here. Let me see if I can get it. Yeah, right there. And there's a hole on the inside handlebar that it catches into. Okay, there it is. Now we're going to get this and put this like this. Get it started. Oh, that's your mirror. So the outer ones I'm going to start because that doesn't hold it. The inner ones I'm going to tighten way up because the inner ones hold it in place, have the notch. So these I want to start and get them close. Not going to go crazy. But the other one on this side, now there's a cable here, which is going to make this really hard. But we can do it. Oh, by the way, these screws do have Loctite, as I said, so you don't need to add any. Let's get these in. We'll put the easy one in first. Okay, now we're going to put in the difficult one. Not that difficult. The harder part was getting the bracket in there. All right, so we just tighten this up. Okay, tighten the top one. Okay, now that's in place because the notch is the inner one. Now we tighten this one up. Tighten this one up. Okay, it's a long video, but it's worth it. Okay, now we're going to get the mirror and we're going to put that back. Push it back in. Now we've started the screw, so what makes it easier, okay, we're going to take this and just screw it right in until it's tight. But like I said, now I'm going to be sitting here turning for a long time because that nut has got to get, again, dragged back inside, you know, where it's tight. I'm going to come around this side, see if I can get a better grip on this. I mean, I don't know how long you're supposed to turn this, maybe till it just doesn't turn anymore, because eventually that nut is going to drag itself. Yeah, there you go. Okay, let me see if that looks good. Let me just give the other side a quick tighten, because I think it needed to go more. Let's see. There we go. We're tight. There's no more turning. So now, one last thing we're going to do. Move the camera here. You can see what this is going to look like. There we go. And we can just pull off the scratch tape, protection tape. And that looks nice. Let's get the other one. And there you go, all installed. Very easy, no problem. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Don't forget to check out the contest video. The link will be in the description of this video, and you'll have a chance to win a $100 Visa e-gift card. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.